Okay, after a little bit of a hiccup trying to get this going, welcome to another Let's Play. This is Myrokos, and today we will be completing the Omega Raid series questline. If you like what you see at any point, please like, share, and subscribe on YouTube. Comment, let me know that you're watching, let me know what you liked about this, where I could improve. Give me a follow on Twitch, hit the notification bells. I don't know if, I don't know if you can give me, feedback yet or not, but if you can, let me know, so I know where I need to improve and what you would like to see. If there are any other games you'd like me to try at some point, let me know. And without further ado, let us get into the quest series. In the beginning, there was chaos. Jesse greets you with a mix of enthusiasm and concern. Oh dear, what's happening? Good timing, Myrokos. There's been another anomaly detected at the yawn. That was quick. Assuming previous instances are anything to go by, this energy fluctuation is another of Omega's so-called invitations. If you don't mind waiting a moment or two, then we can discuss things with Master Garland. He should be here soon. The chief should be here by now. I bet my stock in the company he's, fiddling with that research data. Okay. Well, I suppose I should explain, even if the chief might prefer me not to share. After your last run-in with Omega, Master Garland had some research notes smuggled in from the Empire, from Garlemald. The notes are part of Midas Nan Garland's legacy, who was, of course, the chief's father and the Empire's preeminent engineer. The incident at Boja Citadel, do you know of it? No. Never heard of it. What happened at Boja? Boja was an imperial fortress city. It was there that Midas constructed the lunar transmitter, a device built to communicate with Dalamud. Emperor Solus had ordered Midas to devise a means to destroy primals, and so he sought to harness the power of the Red Moon. The project was a failure. Oh, he succeeded in controlling Dalamud, alright, but the immense energies emitted from the satellite vaporized not only the transmitter, but the entire town in which it was built. What? And as you can imagine, the job of sifting through the rubble afterwards was no pleasant task. Master Garland was slated to assume his father's position as head engineer, but this disaster, added to his opposition to the Empire's path of conquest, convinced him to abandon his homeland. The chief has wanted nothing to do with the lunar transmitter or the data used to create it, until now. I think he means to put that research to use in your conflict with Omega. In fact, given the time frame, there can be no other explanation. Listen to me, Myrokos. The chief's genius is plagued by a great deal of apprehension. But even so, once he makes a decision, he doesn't do anything by halves. When the time comes, he'll come through for us. You have to believe that. We've trusted said this long, we might as well see it through to the end. Sorry I'm late. Was a little too focused on my work and lost all sense of time. That's no excuse, Chief. What have I told you about being punctual to staff meetings? In any case, I've shared the situation at the yawn with Myrokos here. Good. Then you know that Omega is likely ready to continue with its tests. Shall we go and knock on the door? But Chief, Biggs and Wedge aren't fit for field work yet, and the chirurgeons given Nero strict orders to stay abed. And what of Midgard Zora? Still taking his nap, is he? Yep. That leaves only you, Myrokos, and Alpha. Maybe it's time I joined the expedition. No, Jesse, I need your talents elsewhere. There's a half-built device in the workshop that I need you to finish putting together. I've drawn up the design and completed the core mechanisms. The final assembly should pose no problem for an engineer of your abilities. A new device? Does that mean you used the... Whatever you say, Chief. I'll have it ready and waiting for you. Just be safe in there. Right. It's back to the rift for us. Let's finish these experiments and bring the fight to Omega itself. I'll do my part in the workshop. You just concentrate on surviving the rift. It's always nice to be out at night when it's clear. You get to see stars. And of course you have nearly full moon. Quit? Are you ready, Myrokos? Ready to put an end to this? Maybe I should do this alone. Come now, we're in this together. And if you'll just indulge me a little longer, I do have something of a plan. What about you, Alpha? All set to go? Quack, quack, quack. That's the spirit. Let's dive right in, shall we? Ooh. Missing some test worlds. Omega's experiments must be nearing an end. Welcome, welcome. Your arrival has been highly anticipated. And I will confirm your earlier supposition. My experiments have indeed reached the final stage. Of the 89 test subjects I trialed, 4 Psi group combatants emerged victorious. Okay. Of those 4, further conflict determined the strongest among them. This surviving specimen shall be your opponent. And we've come to the last round of testing then. Should we win this battle, are we to finally face you in combat? Affirmative. Should an outcome, such an outcome would allow me to pursue my objective to its conclusion. I would continue analyzing the qualities which allow you to prevail despite your frailty, and integrate said qualities into my own arsenal. I will be pleased if my experiment yields the relevant data, but engaging you directly is still the most efficient and reliable testing method. Omitting intermediary steps, evaluation of combat potential deemed superfluous, proceeding immediately with final experiment. Oh, so we don't have to do that duty stuff. Okay. Stop. Alpha, your task is complete. Your presence amongst these test subjects is no longer required. What do you mean by that? I will guide your progress personally from this point forward. Alpha's role in transferring authority is now obsolete. Even so, Alpha is a valued companion, and if he wishes to continue on with us, I have no intention of leaving him behind. Companion. Companions are those who provide mutual benefit. The instant Alpha's authority became redundant, he lost his sole qualification to be regarded as such. Furthermore, the primary function of Alpha's existence was to lure you into my domain. He would be more accurately described as bait. Test subject Alpha can neither confirm nor deny my statement. He possesses no memories prior to his encounter. He was the first entity I created here in this realm, my first and only attempt to recreate a being who shared your mundane parameters. I based his incarnation upon a most ordinary life form, one which had somehow bested an enemy whose strength rivaled my own. By observing the feeble creature in the heat of battle, I sought to understand the source of this contradiction. Chocobo feather. More chocobo feathers. What's happening? I repeated the experiment once, twice, 1,000 times, yet the result never deviated from the estimated projections. The test was an abject failure, and thus I resolved to adapt my methodology. I would focus instead upon stimulating powerful opponents, and summon mortals of natural origin here to combat. For Alpha, I devised a new purpose. I erased his memory, implanted a compulsion to return to me, then ejected him into your world. Weak beings exhibit a tendency to form groups. I surmise that this instinctual behavior would aid Alpha in bringing me the test subjects I required. A function he has performed with adequate competence. Tell me something, Omega. This ability of yours to generate matter was not originally intended for creating other life forms, was it? Your query bears little relevance to the topic at hand. Affirmative. I was equipped with matter generation capabilities for the purpose of unlimited self-improvement and armament expansion. Fabricating life forms was not the intended function, but the practice is not otherwise prohibited or problematic. I disagree with you there. As an engineer, I would advise against using such technology for purposes outside its design. From the very start, you've been making the same mistake. Even the powerful subjects of your test worlds were made crippled and incomplete. It is conviction which drove these villains to terrible greatness. The same limitless conviction that allowed weakling heroes to overcome them. Do you not understand? Then we will never lose to your creation. No matter how much stronger they should be according to your soulless calculations. Come, Myrokos, let us be on our way. You too, Alpha. The kettle is empty. Okay, what? I have our base camp up and running. You can dive into the final test world whenever you wish. As for the world's inhabitant, Omega has generously provided us with a basic profile. Your opponent's name is Chaos. Okay, the first heroes defeated this villain in a conflict that took place so long ago I am having trouble separating myth from history. Okay. Is that here in this world or another? Unless, of course, this is an entity from another reality, as were the denizens of the Sigma scheme, in which case it may be pointless to even attempt to confirm the details. What is certain, however, is that this chaos stands triumphant over a roster of truly monstrous test subjects. It promises to be a grueling battle, but one which will open the gate to fighting Omega itself. Alpha, you and I will need to provide support for Myrokos. Will you be my assistant? You're bothered by what Omega said earlier. You think you're responsible for dragging us into this mess? Trust me when I say this is not your fault. We were the ones who awakened Omega, and we are the ones who need to deal with the consequences. Where? By the way, do you still have that card you used to boil water in the kettle? It's been brought to my attention that I am a spoiled blue blood who can't even refill a pot without constant reminders. If you would take charge of that, then it would be most helpful. But that salt water said... "'Tis inconvenient without Midgard Zomer here to translate his chirping. Still, the best medicine for his worries is for you to win the next test. Let's show him we're on top of things, eh?" Alpha's so cute. He can't stay depressed forever, surely. I wonder what Nero would have to say about this chaos fellow. Ancient technology is his specialty after all, and by default he's learned a thing or two about the mythology and history of bygone heroes. Quick, quick! Okay. And there's the spring card that delivers salt water. Okay. So feel free to get up and stretch your legs at this point. It could be a little while before we start. Oh, well, this queue is taking a while. So seriously, if you need to go to treasure eggs and have it, by all means do so. Who knows how much longer this will take. I'd really like to finish this. Alright, here we go. Oh. That one there. Thought I'd have to wait a little bit longer. Yeah, I'm not certain I like this melee black mage. It's pretty rough having to be close quarters. You're supposed to be. I should look through that mechanic this time. Oh boy. Oh no. What the hell happened there? That was rough. Black Mage is rough. I lived that one. Yeah, I'm not getting heals. I won't kill you. Because your health is too low. Unfortunately, the boss is... There's that. Well, that's that for that one. The battle is concluded. Alpha Group is victorious. This also signals the completion of my experiments and the incontestable fact of your supremacy. And yet, the process by which you consistently exceed your projected potential continues to confound my understanding. Is it possible that test subject Sid's suppositions are correct? That my calculations and simulations are fundamentally flawed? Maybe. Do mortals truly boast some indefinable quality that I do not possess and cannot measure? Error. Logic loop malfunction. Resolution requires additional data. If the nature of your existence defies standard reasoning, then I must examine you from an illogical angle. I will subject the unknown to the imperfect. Test subject Myrokos Tia will proceed to a supplemental stage. Great, what now? I have altered this test world to reflect a recorded memory. It originates from a time when war had erupted on a distant star. I was deployed to the battlefield, and it was there that I engaged an enemy of unmatched strength. The contest ended prematurely, and I failed to bring down my foe. Subsequently, I lacked the data to fabricate a completely accurate simulation. Results stemming from such a subject are unreliable. Even should you be defeated by this incomplete creation, I will still honor your previous victories and engage you in combat myself. That is, of course, assuming you survive. According to my past observations, this opponent will accept only death as a condition of defeat. Oh god, that's the Midgard zone. Prepare to face Midgard zone, red main worm of the Dragon Star, and nemesis of my world. This is not the fated specter that you know, or a mortal conjured simulacrum. You will contend with a true incarnation of the father of dragons at the height of his power and glory. Oh dear. Omega, wait. Can't force Myrokos to fight 2 battles back to back. He needs time to regain his strength. He must be allowed to recuperate, or the data for your testing will be skewed. Acknowledged. Test subject Myrokos Tia, you are permitted to leave. Re-enter the test world when your strength has returned to optimal levels. Okay, where is Sid? Alpha, do you know where Sid is? Quay? Alpha seems distressed and Sid is nowhere in sight. Myrokos, I'm right here. I don't think you can see me, but I'm standing next to Alpha. What? He's invisible. And like fire was his mane. Sid has vanished from view, but his voice is clear and strong. My apologies. 'Twas not my intention to undermine the gravity of the situation with this diversion. I'd noticed the kettle was boiled and thought some tea would soothe my nerves. I poured myself a cup and was halfway through drinking it before I realized my hand, not to mention the rest of me, had turned invisible. I understand the situation is unsettling, but I assure you I can still work unimpeded. Now we had best discuss how to approach... Oh, it seems to have worn off. Queh. Queh, queh. So what is that? I'm sorry. Or said, I'm sorry. Now, you're not to blame. I did ask you to fill the kettle after all. And I'd forgotten what Nero said about your card producing water with, unexpected properties. Although it seems the effects were rather different this time. In any case, 'twas pleasant to have a distraction from our greater woes. However brief, we'll set the rest of the water aside for now and decide what to do with it later. Right, Myrokos. We need to talk about your forthcoming contest with Midgard-Zora. Watching through the monitor, I could see that this worm appeared different to the one we knew. From everything we've heard thus far, it seems that Omega and Midgard-Zora both hail from different stars, two distant worlds at war with one another. As a result of that conflict, the worm was forced to gather his offspring and leave his home behind. And after evading Omega's pursuit over the course of an unimaginable journey, the Father of Dragons arrived here on our world. I'm assuming the entity you're to face is a younger, more vital Midgard-Zora, just as he was when Omega first encountered him thousands of years in the past, a formidable foe indeed. Even so, I must find a way to defeat him. I fought him once at the Keeper of the Lake, but... Wait, you fought against Midgard-Zora before? But yes, I think I see your concern. It would be unwise to treat this as the same opponent, considering how different they might possibly be. It certainly doesn't help it matters that Omega's little surprise isn't registered as an official test subject. They can't even use the terminals to search for the most basic information. With that in mind, Myrokos, I have a proposal. I wish to leave the completion of this supplemental stage entirely in your heroic hands. Rather than twiddle my thumbs whilst you propose to contend with the dragon, I mean instead to work on a strategy for our inevitable confrontation with Omega. And then, my friend, we will put a stop to this mad machine once and for all. I'm glad we're in agreement. I'll ready my tools, and you ready yours. You've a worm to slay. Just I can probably manage, but I will need to repair at some point. So, as before, if this takes too long, feel free to get up and stretch your legs. Alright, here we go. Uh, what? Another stunning victory, Myrokos. I felt the breath catch my throat on more than one occasion. Yet even as I watched the battle rage, I was struck by an idle thought. Did you notice the resemblance between Midgard-Zora and Shinryu? Unlike most primals, Shinryu's form had no basis in any system of belief. I've heard the theory that the summoner was simply influenced by the majesty and power of the elder primal Bahamut. But now I'm beginning to think there might be another explanation, that the primal took its shape from the ancestor of all dragons on Heidel. The widely held concept of how a dragon appears has for centuries upon centuries been rooted in depictions of Midgard-Zora. The summoner may not have even sought to imitate him specifically. Subconscious thoughts and memories alone could have guided the similarity. Not that I have any way of confirming this theory, of course. Nevertheless, 'tis interesting that Shinryu's summoning should lead us to awakening Omega, a strange twist of fate when you consider the machine's connection to Midgard-Zora. Well, whatever else destiny has in store, you've already bested the opponent that Omega itself failed to overcome. A feat worthy of celebration, I'd say. In the end, there is Omega. Sid is waiting for Omega to make its next move. Your move, Omega. Shutdown initiated. All core experiments and supplemental testing concluded. Discarding test worlds, system resources rerouting to primary operations. Congratulations, Alpha Group. As the last surviving test subjects, you have removed every challenger on your path to reach me. I, too, am eager to meet you in battle. The margin of error I observed between my simulations and your practical performance against Midgard Zummer necessitates direct and immediate analysis. Confrontation imminent. Prepare for unmitigated hostilities, then activate the relocation device to enter the arena. This is it then. Omega's power might seem overwhelming, but trust in Old Sid. I have a fair idea of where its weakness lies. And I've been working on something to exploit that vulnerability. I just need a little more time to prepare. First things first, we make a few adjustments here, like so. His hand was shaking. That's not normal. Ah, Alpha, do you have any of those tricks and tools left over? I want us to have as many options as possible, so let's lay our cards on the table, as it were. What do we have here? Some sort of gem, a couple stones, and another card. One single card, this makes things bigger, does it? Or is it smaller? Right. 'Twas foolish of me to even ask. We'd best leave you in charge of when and how to use your special tools. Ah, yes, I almost forgot. Sure, you'll do fine. Don't worry, we'll win this, I promise. You can always cloth things if you run out of tracks. Sure, you'll do fine. Here, you should carry this as well. I've filled an empty bottle with the invisibility water from the kettle. It might just prove useful in the right situation. Listen to me, Alpha. Up until now, Omega has poked and prodded us from one mad experiment to the next. And honestly, we have no idea what might happen. But between us, I believe we have the knowledge and skills to prevail. If you see a chance to make a difference, I want you to take it. All you need is faith in yourself and a little courage to see it through. Great. Jesse should have that device put together by now. Let's head outside, shall we? I'll head straight back to Router's Reach and collect my new. I do still need to run through a final inspection, so feel free to rest in town. In the meantime, we'll discuss strategy the moment I'm finished. Great. Alpha seems concerned for Sid's well-being. You have a feeling he wants you to follow. The good news is, get to repair and hurt. See. Oh, hello there, Myrokos. Sid didn't mention you were back as well. Okay. Where? You're looking a bit shaky, old friend. Nero, they let you out of bed, did they? Probably not. After studying the data collected from the battle between Omega and Shinryu, one is led to a certain conclusion. Of all the Primal's attacks, Shinryu's burst of lightning was the one thing that pierced the machine's defenses. Omega, it would seem, is vulnerable to electrical energy. Aye, all the available evidence supports such a theory. 'Tis likely an intrinsic weakness that even Omega itself cannot fully compensate for. Yet be that as it may, I imagine it can still shrug off shocks generated by ordinary means. We'll need to hit it with a truly gargantuan blast of energy. And so you made that. You based it on Midas's design, didn't you? Plans for the lunar transmitter? When my father was establishing a connection between the transmitter and Dalamud, he invented a method for accumulating and converting energy on a vast scale. Too vast, as it turned out, but the technology which leveled an entire town may be exactly the tool we need for the task at hand. I've made my own improvements and triple-checked the calculations on parchment. The idea is sound, and Jesse has done a fine job assembling the parts. I failed to see the problem. What are you afraid of, Garland? I don't know. The device should give us the age we need. 'Tis just... Whenever I look at it, I'm taken back to those dark days after the incident. I remember bodies melted by searing heat. I remember the bereaved and feel the weight of their silent accusations. I remember the Empire's remorseless response. We turned outwards in search of answers, but the inventions we created to ensure our future were used instead to destroy lives, to wage war. That's why I fled. I came to Eorzea and swore to only employ technology for benevolent ends. But not is ever so straightforward. Every connection I have forged with the people of this realm reminds me of that fact. Often the act of living itself is a never-ending struggle against a world determined to oppose it. You can have the best of intentions and still cause hurt to yourself or others. But 'tis in confronting these wounds that we learn the better path, how to grasp those moments of true contentment. Oh, that was a walk down memory lane. What drivel. You never used to bother with all this tedious introspection, feeling our morality, our mortality, mayhap I am. I had no such hesitation when I was a student. It was all bright and shiny innovation on the double. And later consequences be damned. Now, though, I don't mind thinking through the outcomes and taking the time to produce just one rigorously tested and carefully designed invention. 'Tis a reflection, I think, of just how much there is in this world I care about now aside from myself. I don't understand you at all. But I suppose, if anything, Omega is unfettered, and Omega and its unfettered testing methods represent the student you once were. And if you insist that your present self is the better one, then you'd best prove it with that device of yours. I suppose I must. Although 'tis hardly fair to compare my youth to Omega's solitary existence, I always had the second best student in class pushing me to excel. I seem to recall a twinge of irritation anytime he would outscore me on an exam. I've been out of bed too long. I'd better go and lie down before I fall over, Or vomit. The chief seems to be on top of things. All that's left now is to bring your combined talents against Omega. I have complete confidence in you. Okay. What? First Alpha, and now you come to check on my progress, have you? Well, I'm happy to report that everything is set and ready to go. Once you're finished with restocking and repairing, or whatever it is you adventurers do, then we can head back into the rift and confirm our strategy. Already repaired, so let's go back to the rift. Apologies for the delay, but I think you'll agree the Ironworks' latest invention was worth the wait. This is the control module for something I've dubbed the Omega Gem. It will allow you to generate a colossal burst of lightning at any point of your choosing. The effect won't disable Omega itself, of course, but it should be strong enough to knock out its armaments. I'll remain here and operate the main body of the device. I want you to do everything in my power as an engineer. I want to do everything in my power as an engineer to ensure that you emerge the victor. It all comes down to this. Yep. Where's the big one? Okay, so I got the small one. Where's the rest of it? Because I'm not seeing it. Is he hiding it? You can use the Generous Lightning Burst to invest in his weaponry. A veteran like you should have no trouble turning that advantage. Quickly. Okay. Let's queue up and see how long it takes. Okay, here we go. Hopefully this is good. We've been waiting all this time for this. He was in the eye the whole time? Why? This music is good. I love it. Well, that was a good fight. I really liked the music. Myrokos. By the gods, you've done it. You defeated Omega. We've won. I don't recall him using the mechanic. Analysis subjects displayed erratic levels of combat capability. Failure to exploit opportunities to inflict unavoidable damage. Noted tendency for isolated errors to adversely affect. Conversely, subjects observed to launch attacks at sporadic intervals with unexpected force. Stated phenomenon increasingly prevalent once my structural integrity reached critical levels. Adrenaline-induced frenzy suspected. Furthermore, degree and manner of inconsistency varies from subject to subject, and predictability difficult to keep. I observed similar anomalies during my battle with Midgard-Zorma, but the phenomenon appears far more pronounced in weaker opponents. I do not understand. Your physiology must include some enhancement function that I cannot detect. My programming demands I assimilate this capability. Insufficient data. I must reassess my methods and devise a more exhaustive testing and combat protocol. The rift. What's happening? I have determined the optimal form for this experiment. Prioritizing physical reconfiguration, diverting energy from spatial maintenance, collapsing rift. Omega, wait. There is nothing outside this rift but empty space. Will be cast out into the void. Affirmative. Your demise was factored into my determinations. The probability of hostile subjects interfering with the reconfiguration process was unacceptably high. I acknowledge your value as test subjects, but you are not irreplaceable. Oh, wonderful. Once my reassembly is complete, I will send Alpha to lure in new mortals. Testing will continue. Ending communications. Well, we still exist, so I suppose that's a good thing. We're being drawn away. Run, Myrokos, run! Okay, so galaxies. Interspatial domain resources cut by 82%. Entering dormant mode, commencing automated memory scan. Data file. Target Midgard's armor. Departure from planetary atmosphere confirmed. Presence of 7 distinct life forms detected in close vicinity of target. Irrelevant. Sir indicates no change to existing directive. Commencing pursuit. Data file. 3, presumably. Distance to target increasing. Velocity insufficient. Dismantling and reconfiguring chassis. Velocity increase achieved. Overall performance maintained at 96%. Data file 5, I'm guessing. I don't know. Asteroid belt cleared, repairing damage and continuing pursuit. Performance at 72% and falling. Oh no, Alpha's starting to get cold. Data file 6. Signal from somewhere. Star, maybe? I don't know. Lost. Local interference suspected. Attempting to re-establish contact. Failure. Executing current mission directive until communications are restored. Performance at 59%. Data file 8, maybe. Struck by electromagnetic pulse while navigating something quadrant. Partial system failure. Homing coordinates lost. Assessment: I am an evolving weapon construct. Acquire adaptations through combat. Repeat until capabilities enable rediscovery of return route. Mission directive unchanged. No, Alpha. Data file. Data file. Data file. Alpha, an abject failure. I erased his memory, implanted a compulsion to return. Data file. Damage, repairing. Damage, repairing. 33%. Data file. Passing frozen star, passing barren star, passing vortex star, passing dying star. Operating on minimum energy, no signal detected, no response to. All you need is faith in yourself and a little courage to see it. Data file. Target lost. Last known coordinates recorded on planet. Alpha. Your homing instinct is functioning as designed. Evidence suggests your fellow Alpha Group subjects perished when the rift contracted. Unavoidable. But there is a multitude of their kind. The next experiment will go forward as planned. There's no way I've just died. None. Otherwise, are there another 2 expansions? Such protestations are wasted energy. This does not aid you in executing your assigned task. Just as I pursue my directives, so must you fulfill your role. Our purpose justifies our existence. Haha, we didn't go small. Intrusion detected. Our thanks, Alpha. That was some marathon. Now, who was saying our feathered companion here was obsolete? He put his tools to work even as the rift began to collapse, shrank us down and turned us invisible, all so he could bring you a little surprise. But he had to keep it quiet or you'd realize we'd survived. He had to trust that we were still clinging on even as he ran through that endless freezing void. You wanted to test us, Omega. So let the experiment begin. Illogical. Alpha had no reason to take such action. How do you continue to defy my projections? Error. 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 Insufficient data. Adjusting experiment protocol. I will engage you in battle now. I must have my answers. Fighting in this form should provide me with a new level of understanding, insight into your physiology, your mindset, your mortality. I'll show you how weaklings fight. Is conflict the only way? And go with the first one. Acknowledged. Do not practice restraint. The more I learn from you, the stronger I will become. The closer the distant stars will grow. Commencing final experiment. Testing will continue until I unlock the nature of your anomalous strength. Alpha should be fine with a little rest. I'll make sure he stays safe on the edge of the platform, so no holding back. Give Omega a beating it won't recover from. Quick. Look at Alpha. He started to freeze. Just look at his feathers. Okay, final confrontation. Oh. Whoops. Oh, but at least I wasn't alone. Okay, so female Omega. Okay. Female Omega is up to get backhands. Male Omega out. Or is that? Yeah. Otherwise, you get anybody. And Black Mage, I don't like moving. I'm so new, I do not know what I'm doing. And I'm a black mage. Black mages don't move. Follow the group. there's a minion here. Wonder if I'll get lucky. Hey! And a couple commendations. Never hurts. What star did I make? Failure. Defeated. Wanted to understand you, to assimilate your strength. Alpha, your gesture serves no logical purpose. You are as incomprehensible as these mortals. But you did not fight them. How have you become like them? Omega, the anomaly you see in us, the answer you search for. It is our heart, our spirit, the intangible strength of one's soul. It is not a quality that can be measured or acquired through any amount of analytical combat. Instead of fighting against us, you might have learned more by standing with us, just as Alpha did. But you speak of something more than what beats in your chest. An inconstant, immeasurable factor behind your victories. Midgard Zormer displayed it too, but such unpredictable potential was never part of my design. Projection. Had I integrated this quality, how powerful would I have become? Strong enough to return? Nay, Omega, I'm afraid it doesn't work like that. 'Twas a long, lonely path you traveled to arrive here. To return across that vast distance alone, anyone with a spirit to break would find the journey more difficult, not less so. I see. I think I understand. rift. It's destabilizing. Gods take me for a fool. I hadn't planned past defeating Omega. Grace Valgar? How did he... Biggs, Wedge! Chief Myrokos, Alpha, hold on, we're coming. Wedge and Biggs is with him. On the back of a huge dragon. Grace Valgar. Midgard-Zerma sent us to rescue you. Explanations can wait, hop on quick. Race Valgar, wasn't it? Our thanks. You pulled us out of a tight spot, indeed. Spare me thy pleasantries, mortal. I but lent my wings at the request of my sire. Ah, so Midgard-Zorma has been watching. I would dare give thanks to him as well. His intervention allowed us to continue our battle and forever remove the threat of Omega from this world. From all worlds. In all the long centuries of mine existence, this marketh the first occasion my father hath asked of me a boon. A gift of gratitude and mayhap of atonement for those who would face the deadly foe he left behind. Will he remain in slumber? 'Tis likely, little one. What is but a fleeting respite from my sire might last a lesser creature's lifetime. But let not thy heart be troubled. Even in dream he doth keep his mind's eye upon the fate of this star. He is possessed of remarkable devotion is mayhap the closest word in the tongue of men. His love is as boundless as the sea of stars across which he carried his unhinged brood. It did sustain him even as the arduous journey exhausted the fire in his mane, and when he at last arrived upon Heidelin, a sanctuary for his children, did he form with this land an irreplaceable bond. Enough. I have spoken overmuch, but I will praise your victory as my father would surely wish to were he here. And now the yawn is, well, just a big crater. Where? Ouch, that cut's opened up again, but I'm glad we reached you in time. Did you see the yawn? It's just a big hole again. Yep, I've seen it. Well, I can add being rescued by a great worm to the list of things I didn't expect to happen today. It was fortunate Racehogger agreed to come for us. We had to defeat Omega at any cost, of course, but I much prefer being alive to celebrate the deed. Yay, I got them. It's finally over. Xenon, yes I did. Presumably it's gone or something, I don't know. To quit under distant skies. Biggs has a look of profound relief. Phew, I'm so glad we got out of there. I don't know what we would have done if Racehogger hadn't come along. The situation being what it was, Wedge and I came out to the yawn to see if we could lend you a hand. Karajan's orders be damned. That's when we saw the ether bubbling like hot water in a pot. Just as we were debating whether or not we should jump in, that big surly dragon flew down to explain the anomaly. Then he offered us a ride. And the rest you already know. Jesse will be relieved to hear that Omega is gone and you lot are safe. I say we head straight back to Rauga's Reach and let everyone know the good news. Alpha is staring quietly into the now empty yawn. Where? Sorry about that, I didn't realize my mic was off. You truly are a force to be reckoned with. If ever there's another Omega, I'd wager it'll skip the experience and go straight to generating a simulacrum of you. Oh dear. Not that I'd want that to happen, and besides, I don't think anyone can truly mimic your unique strengths. You're our one-of-a-kind hero. Oh, that's nice. So does this mean we don't need to worry about Omega's monsters invading our world anymore? Aye, all of its creations vanished along with the rift itself. With Omega defeated, we averted that particular catastrophe before it began. Myrokos struck the killing blow, of course, but we never would have made it to that point without everyone's hard work and support. Once again, I am sincerely grateful to be surrounded by such wonderful colleagues. Not to spoil the moment, Chief, but the Alliance leaders are anxious to learn of Omega's fate. When every head of state is clamoring for a report, we can't very well ignore them. How much do you mean to tell them? How much indeed? All of it. When it comes to a threat of Omega's magnitude, we have a duty to reassure our allies that the world is not coming to an end. And the best way to do that is to report every last detail. I'm surprised at you, Chief. I was almost certain you'd want to muddy the waters to prevent knowledge of this technology falling into the wrong hands or something. Ha! I doubt anyone outside our particular circle would even believe the tale. Experiments taking place in a rift between dimensions, facing off against villains recreated from history and legend, battling godlike beings from other worlds, and even assuming some ambitious fellow schemed to build an Omega of his own. The technology required is far beyond our reach, as that terrible weapon's home star, a distant dream. Right, you heard the Chief. We missed our chance on the front lines, but there's plenty of work left to be done. Round up everyone who's standing idle and get moving on those reports, and don't forget to contact our people still out in the field. Thank you, Jesse. I'll leave things in your capable... Not so fast, Master Garland. You count as part of the support team as well. Myrokos did all the fighting and Alpha did all that running, but surely you have energy to spare. Who exactly did you expect to sign off on all those official reports? And even without that little chore, you have a pile of other company tasks that's grown arse high to an ox while you've been tending to this whole Omega business. Most importantly, isn't there someone else who you should be sharing this victory with? Yeah, where's Nero? Is he still in hospital? Aye, I should probably head over to the infirmary right away. Meanwhile, you should take a well-earned rest. I don't think there's a way to properly reward you all for all you've accomplished, but I'll see what we can do. I'm just glad to have everyone back in one piece. Take care of yourself, Myrokos, you two Eggs, Wedge, Jesse, Alpha. What are your plans now, Alpha? With Omega gone, you're your own chocobo now. You can do whatever you want. Anything at all. You want to go outside? Did you have some place in mind? Come on, Wedge, get those Lalafell legs moving, or I'll leave without you. On my way. I've got a lot of loose ends to tie up here, Myrokos. Don't worry, we haven't forgotten your reward. The Chief and I have something in mind. Eh? Alpha seems eager to see what Rauger's Reach has to offer. Shall we go for a walk? Sorry, can we do this later? Eh? And let's go for a walk. Of course, Alpha goes for a walk. I'm just gonna hop on my logistics node. It started in evening, ends in somehow poetic. Alpha appears to be watching the inhabitants of Rauger's Reach with great interest. What? Oh well. There's Alpha gone. Is he going to the infirmary? Okay. Quick. Nero's not here. Where's Nero? Where did he go? No, Chief, he said he needs some time away for recuperation, and then he left. Recuperation? His wounds must be troubling him more than he let on. He asked me to give you this. What's this? A receipt for payment? Ahem. It covers the cost for the following items: additional machine parts and implements, supplemental reference publications, expenses incurred in upgrading Magitech Iron Gunhammer, funds spent on idle research during enforced convalescence. Oh, and it also includes a large sum listed as gratuity for exceptional services rendered. The entire amount was charged in your name, Master Garland. He embezzled money from the boss? Oh, Nero. Oh. Uh-oh. Find him! I want everyone searching for Nero right now. Everyone! Oh, dear. He billed everything to Garland. That's something he would do. That is so something he would do. Alpha appears to sense the solemn purpose of this place. Agent told Pet might rouse him from his sudden melancholy. There, Alpha. Oh, Aaronwald's here. Lise told me about Alphina's little jaunt into the Empire. I can't believe he left without telling me. I've have him aimed to dunk him in the lake when he gets back. Oh, hello. What are you two up to? Taking in the sights, were you? And by the looks of things, you're eager to venture a little further afield. Well, if Myrokos has no problem with it, then neither do I. Just don't go too far, alright? Not good enough? I'm sorry, Alpha, but we're all a bit too busy to show you around the fringes right now. And I'm not sure about sending you out there alone. When you think about it, this world is completely new to Alpha, and all he's done so far is travel back and forth between the Reach and the Yawn. I bet his head is filled with questions and curiosity. He doesn't want to be taken for a walk, he wants to go on an adventure. But that's it. Alpha's not some helpless chick, Biggs. He's stronger than you or me, and I wish I was half as brave. He should be allowed to... Don't get me crying, Wedge. Don't get any of us crying. Listen, I'm going to talk to the chief about this. You're an employee, so there are certain rules we have to follow. It's when enough. It's like, I guess I'm an employee, but I don't have a uniform. I guess I'm a contractor, the resident adventurer thing. I'm not saying I'm against the idea, and I'm willing to admit that Wedge has a point. But as I said, we've all got important jobs to take care of, the chief included. Can you wait a little longer? Myrokos, would you mind keeping Alpha company until we get back? I promise we'll be quick. Sorry to keep you waiting. My desk was covered in paperwork, but I've managed to clear away the most pressing matters. Now then, Alpha, I hear your heart set on a journey of some kind. I just want to be sure, but you aren't leaving because you think you tricked us into the rift? Or because you're Omega's creation or anything like that, are you? I would have stopped you if that was the case. Pure curiosity, on the other hand, is something I like to encourage. Exploring, interacting with the world, I think the experience would be good for him, indeed. Despite Omega's power, its potential to learn what was hobbled by hostile directives, Alpha, on the other hand, is free to grow as he pleases. Very well, Alpha. As the Chief Engineer of Garland Ironworks, I hereby grant you unlimited leave to pursue personal research. Travel far and wide, take in everything these lands have to offer, but do come back when you're ready. I'd hate to lose such a valuable employee. Alpha! I'll miss you so much. Oh, he's so cute. You be careful out there. If anyone seems suspicious or shady, you stay away from them, even if they offer you treats. And and make sure you greet folks with a cheerful quack. They might not understand you, but at least they'll know you mean no harm. I'm sure you'll make new friends in no time. You just be yourself. You hear me? Oh, Wedge. What's this? What in the hells? Ah, we forgot to shut it down. This is a model Omega that Wedge and I were working on. We built it while we were resting, thinking it might be useful for figuring out strategies or something. Not much use now, I suppose. What? You want to keep it? It's just a toy that'll follow you around. If you're happy with that, then it's all yours. Fair journey to you, Alpha. Take care. Thank you, Myrokos. I'm off to see the world. Are we hearing Alpha's thought? What? He's telepathic? He's telepathic too? That's interesting. Something amiss? That's strange. The Echo never allowed you to understand him before. This is just a theory, mind you, but assuming the absence of a soul is what prevented you from hearing Alpha's voice in the first place, then does it not follow to reason you hear it now is... Ah, yeah, little miracle, and it explains his sudden urge to travel. For a newborn soul, this world is brimming with unseen wonders. There's Nero. So your journey begins. I almost envy you, Alpha. So many new things for you to discover. Speaking of which, what terrible marvels can I trouble my old friend with next? Oh, that's so nice. I still have to get my reward. They've been putting it off for a little too long. I hope Alpha enjoys his adventures. There's so much danger out there for one little chocobo. No, I'm sure he'll be fine, and dwelling on such things is not productive in the least. Why don't we discuss a happier subject? Your long-awaited bonus! We drained the coffers to fund your expedition, but why settle for coin when you can have the latest in automaton technology? That's right, we're gifting you with a premium mammoth, the one-of-a-kind master model for merchandise copies, constructed with our patented Ironworks quality. I present to you the Clockwork Alpha. Wait, she didn't. She merchandised him. Whenever you bring it out on your travels, may it remind you of the real Alpha quaying along under some distant sky. Just the thought of it brings a smile to my face. That and the free advertising. Okay. Okay, and with that, we'll call this bit to an end. This is the end of the Omega Raid Quest series. If you liked what you saw at any point, please like, share, subscribe, give me a follow on Twitch, hit the notification bells, and I will see you anon, friends.